We're going live and contrived. So today we're going to be talking about the shrimp recall, and we're going to be talking about Google possibly being broken up, and we're going to be talking about Best Buy kind of basically swirling the drain. And then U.S. Marshals are guarding survey crews as they're going out and look at data center, like projects and stuff like that. So they're kind of trying to figure all that out. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. So anyway, yeah, let's start to get into it and do our things and yada yada to the yada. Hopefully you're having a good night. Hopefully you can hear me. Can you hear me? So Ohio Valley Prepping got a question. He's like, hey, I kind of just did the crisis report and crisis report I'm not doing on whatchamacallit, StreamYard tonight. And the reason why is because, well, kind of running out of my my free thing. So I got to like spread it out and do one of these every once in a while. So that's what we're doing. So it is what it is. But yeah, 5x5, good. All right, cool. Yeah, some doom. Nope, we can't hear you. Okay, can you hear me? I'm getting 5x5, so hopefully that is working for you. Yeah, 5x5. Everybody's saying 5x5. So, all right. Hey, yeah, you're had a good question, Ohio Valley. He asked, is this working better doing the crisis report this way? And yes and no. You get more views if you go in the vertical kind of style, but you can only use so much of that. They basically hinder you in different ways. But I got a nice note from YouTube today. They basically said, thank you for being here. You've done 700 days of service or something like that. Was 700 days? It was basically like it's like their 20th anniversary. And yeah, this is the Deep OPSEC PN. I like that. Yeah, they said they've done 20 years, and for 5 of those 20 years, I've been a YouTuber. Can you believe I've been a YouTuber for over 5 years? Yeah. So let's talk about this food and drug thing that's going on. And basically, Tuesday morning, the FDA advised Walmart customers in a press release not to eat, sell, or serve certain imported frozen shrimp from an Indonesian distributor called BMS Foods due to possible contamination with the radioactive isotope cesium-137. So, yeah. I don't know. So I don't buy my shrimp from Walmart. I don't, and in fact, I don't like to really buy anything from Walmart. To be honest with you, I'll go to Aldi. Okay, Aldi's all right. We go to other places. We'll go to. We're a member of a club called BJ's. We're a member of Sam's. Used to be a member of Costco, but there's none anywhere near us. So, but yeah, this is cesium-137 is radioactive. So it's in shipping containers at 4 ports in the United States. FDA tested a sample of frozen shrimp from Indonesia's BMS Foods. She came back positive for the isotope. No shrimp has tested positive for it. Entered the U.S. food supply per the FDA. So it's a great value brand, frozen raw shrimp, lot code 800-5540-1. Best by March 15th, 2027. And then it is lot number 8005538. Best by March 15th, 2027. Odds of March. And then 8005539. Now, why couldn't they just go 383940? Whatever. That's March 15th as well. So, got some problems. Yep. So I don't know. I don't buy really any kind of groceries or food from Walmart. Every once in a while, we'll have to go get something if it's something we just can't find anywhere else. It's always been Dale's steak sauce that for some reason Walmart is like the only place that will sell the Dale's. So, yeah. So Deep OPSEC PM isn't into it. Not into the Walmart. Nope. Fresh or forget it. Absolutely. John Evans. Correctamundo, sir. Yep. Fresh or forget it. There we go. Seeing how this is going for you. Is this all right? Did I do it this way? Is this working for people? I know people like to see, like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, gosh, this is boring. I can't share links. Like most of the big YouTubers, it's just their freaking face, like Pinball was going earlier. It was just his, big, beautiful head bobbing up and down. So, yeah. Hopefully this is okay for you. Yeah. So, yeah, the food supply in America is getting concerning. I don't think that we're as safe as we used to be when it comes to things like this, which is another reason why I really don't like getting food from Walmart. Anything mass produced, guys, and you know this, anything mass produced is kind of got more potential to it. More bad things can happen. If it's mass produced, well, the ability to slip through the cracks, that kind of stuff is much more possible. So I don't like it. I don't try. I try not to use it. So yeah. So this one's entitled "Bad Actors." Now, why am I calling it "Bad Actors"? These are all corporate entities, and I'm not a big fan of corporations. Sorry, I'm not a big fan of corporations. Are you a big fan of corporations? I don't like corporations. Southern Illinois radio operator says Deep OPSEC PN is the only smart way to do a live of yourself. Too many crazies lurking. Southern Illinois, that's exactly what it is. I saw, it started because of like cancel culture and being in education. But as I watched and like evolved as a channel and saw like Prepper Princess get gone after, Survival Living's been gone after. Like, there's a lot of channels where the people have gone after them, and yeah, I don't want to. I've got a family, so I'd rather just be like, hey, here's a floating emblem and and sit here and do what I'm doing instead of worried about some crazy like finding out who I am. I'm not even worried about my job anymore, really. So I think the pendulum swung quite enough that it's not really that big of a deal. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, this one's entitled Bad Actors because of all the terrible corporations out there. But this next one, I don't think they're a bad corporation. I just think they're going under. Okay. So I think it's Best Buy. It launched a third party marketplace on Tuesday, adding more brands and items to the website and app. So a lot of problems are going on in retail. And there's a lot of companies that are not selling product. Why? Because people are not buying product. There's a guy I watch by the name of Stephen Van Meter. He's a trader, as in Trader. Okay, and he's got good stuff on the economy. And basically, what he was saying was that there is a correlation between rate cuts and the economy. And basically, because they haven't been cutting the rates and they've been holding, people are holding on to their money. They're not going out and buying things. They're not buying everyday items. They're not buying major items like houses and cars. So this is causing a glut of product. Okay, sorry, it took me a moment. It's causing a glut of product. Trying to think of the right word. I'll do that whenever I pause. I'm like trying to think of the right word. So it joins a growing trend of retailers who are using third-party sellers as a way to attract sales, drive higher profits, and draw advertising dollars. Now, I don't know who it is exactly where they're going through, but a lot of products, there's discounters that I go to. You guys have probably heard of Ollie's. And these companies go and they sell their product at like a discount because they can't get rid of it and they've got a glut of it. And then it goes on to, a nice discount. And you go and get product you normally would have gotten for a lot less. Got a good deal on a bunch of cat food the other day. I got cats, and the cats need food. So, got a good deal on the cat food. Fed them the cat food. They ate the cat food. Cat food's gone, right? Sounds good. Yeah. So, this portends major problems for the economy. Okay. And what do I mean by that? Well, if they're having to do things like this where they go and try to get the third party retailers and other things to try to drum up business, it means the business isn't doing well. If the business isn't doing well, we're gonna have problems, right? So that's kind of what's going on with all this. Consumer electronics retailers business could use a boost as it contends higher tariffs, sluggish housing turnover, and consumers' selective spending. Basically, the economy's in the ishter. And they can try all they want to say, oh, no, no, things are great. It's not. No, they're tough. I'm not saying it's anybody in currently is in, fault. I think it's more of a, we've tried to do what we can to make everything function and go. And, I just think we're in a place where you can't draw blood from a stone. Really. I don't think there's too much more that you can get out of the Americans or the economy. People are strapped. I have people that do subscriptions and stuff for me. Well, they're not like falling off a cliff, but they're trending down, and they've been that way for a while. And then people can leave like comments like, "Hey, why are you leaving?" They're like, "It's I just don't got the money." It's what everybody basically says. So it's a problem. It's getting tougher out there. I don't know how many of you guys have got like streaming services that you've gotten rid of because of the problems of the economy. We have. I'm begging to get my wife to get rid of Netflix. Can't stand it. There's nothing good on. Stuff is terrible. Besides getting like some legacy kind of sitcom or TV show, there's nothing that is created by Netflix. Am I like, ooh, that looks good? No, looks like crap. Anyway, I think Best Buy's got problems. I think you're gonna hear they're having issues and they need to do stuff here very, very soon. Yeah, they do. So what else we got? I'll leave that one for last. We'll do this one. All right. So this one is Google going to be broken up. So let's start with a basic question to the family. Should Google be broken up? Put a 1 in if you think so. Put a 2 in if you think no. Okay? If Google should be broken up, put a 1 in. If Google should not be broken up, put a 2 in. Just plaintive question. All right, I got some ones. Yep. Okay, so personal opinion. Okay. Oh, there we go. 14. I knew it. Personal opinion. This company literally owns all the information out there. Like if you're looking for something, uh, you have to go through them. Let me give you an example. You've got this Digital Services Act that's currently going in the European Union, okay? And you have to submit like facial ID and all kinds of stuff like that just to go and visit websites. Way over much, too much. Well, let's say that you've got a de-Googled phone, and they exist. There's not a lot of them out there, but there's people out there that have phones that are not on Google. They don't have Gmail. They don't have anything Apple. There are people that are really not into Apple. Well, you can't get online on some of these sites if you don't have a Google or Apple phone. So let's say you're trying to be one of the cool kids and you go out and you get a Rob Braxman. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this guy, but his whole shtick on YouTube, and he does good videos. They're not super exciting, but they're good. How to de-Google your life. And he's good at it. And he's made a channel off of it. Got a couple 100,000 subscribers. And basically, you can't get into European websites unless you have a Google or an Apple phone. To me, that seems like it's a little much. Like maybe we should have a little bit more competition, right? Check this out. I'm going to give you guys a scenario. Let's say, not that I know anything about this, let's say that the company prefers certain leanings politically. And when you go to look for stuff, you can't find as readily easily the stuff that they disagree with. Now, provided, let's say they're on the one side of the political aisle, but the other side of the political aisle wins the election, like wins hands down. People are kind of sick and tired of what the stuff that Google was into is doing. And what they do is they go and they say, oh, well, let's just keep pumping out the stuff that we like to them. even though the people voted a certain way. Let's just only provide them with one point of view. Kind of seems incongruent with what society's got, right? Does to me. So if a company has that much power where they own all the information you see, or like 93% of it, whatever it is, might be smart to make it so they're not too big to fail, right? It leaves a lot of potential for some bad actors. Excuse me. So, yeah, this is there's a big ruling coming. Okay, so let's give you the specifics. Let's see. Here we go. Justice Department Attorney Generals allege that Google, whose search engine controls nearly 90% of online queries, paid billions of dollars to maintain a monopoly over the search market via agreements with tech rivals, smartphone manufacturers, wireless providers in exchange for a cut of advertising revenue. And those companies are including Apple, Samsung, and more. They agreed to set Google as the default on browsers and mobile devices. The deals locked up key access points, plaintiffs allege. So only Google. They go out. I mean, Google does good work. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on them. But like, why do they have to be the only one? Let me give you another example. I used to live in New York City, and we wanted to get cable. This is back when cable was like a thing. And we move into our lovely new freaking apartment in Queens, baby. And we're getting, service. We're looking around, looking for service. The only service provider for most of New York City, where we lived, was Time Warner Cable. And they were freaking awful. Terrible. And I'm not saying Google's terrible. I'm just saying, bear with me. They were awful. Service was terrible. Couldn't fix anything. Couldn't get them out to do anything. You had to wait months just for like basic service. And if you weren't sitting there panting like a golden retriever waiting for a treat as they got to the door, I was so thankful that they were 10 days out. That's a little much. There should be more. There should be, Verizon. There should be, Cox and others. Like there should be choice in who we get our cable from, just like there should probably be choice in our search engines. Now, I'm not saying that Google would ever put a political bent on things, but what if they did? This would guard against it. Okay, I think we need that. I do. I don't. I took a 19th century history course when I was getting my third degree, all paid off, and the guy was talking about the Vanderbilts and all of the different companies that were just so huge and too big to fail for them at the time, and all the crappy stuff they did, the use of the Pinkertons and all that. You know, it's a real thing. It is. We probably should have more choice. I like choice. Do you like choice? I like choice. I like choice a lot. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we should consider just having more options. Just having a few more options. That's all. So checking out my live stream. That looks good. Oh, wave, wave. Yeah. Wait, it says here there's 400 people in here. Just kidding. I remember those days. Remember that? Remember that a couple years ago when they actually allowed people? Oh, but it's all fake. Man, Tim Pool's going after him. I watch him. He had a really good video today. He's been sick. I'm liking his channel more. And his channel was topic for the day. He just did one like long form half hour for him. And basically what it was is there's population collapse going on, and we're starting to see it. Now he translated it to his declining views and all that. Other people have said that this is a common theme on YouTube. It is strange that when I had 25,000 viewers, I got 400 or 500 people in the live stream, and now with almost 54,000, I get like, I know I go late, but whatever. It's just weird. He called it out. He says that there's not as many people out there as there used to be. He says we are collapsing, and everything you see on here is fake. I don't know. Maybe he's right. Google, it's too big to fail, baby. Too big to fail. Hold on, I'm going to say hi to you guys from my other channel. Hi, folks. There you go. Told you. Right there. So, yeah. Bad actors. Corporations need to get a little bit better. You know what the cool thing is, though, folks? You guys can give them the Bud Light treatment. You can. That's the problem with Google. You can't really give them the Bud Light treatment. So that can be an issue. All right, let's move on to our last offering. Hold on real quick. No, there we go. So we've been covering a lot over here on these data centers, right? Data centers are a problem, multiple different reasons. So let me recap for those that don't remember our previous discussions. Data centers are popping up all over. And the problem is that they're making our power much more expensive. Everybody's power is going up. So again, I'm going to ask, I do this every time. It's interesting. Where's your power bill at, folks? And I know they've all gone up. Don't give me that. I want to know what kind of ducats you're paying. Because ours is about $3 to $3.50 now. It used to be like $2.50, $2.50. It's gone up by at least $100. So I'd love to know where you guys are at. Okay. Yes, do smash the buttons and stuff. All right, our Bobbery had $76 last month. Man, good for you. John Evans, $3.45. Okay, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. I don't remember energy prices being in the 300s like this, unless like you screwed up and you left something on when you're on vacation or something like that, right? That's what I mean. I don't remember them being this much. Taz, $750. Man, what are you doing, dude? Are you growing sage? That is that's terrible. King James, $97, man. Oh, that's what I want. I miss those days. I remember those days. It was what, 1994? 155 for two people. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Michael Hawk. Yep. Oh, Marshall. Sorry. Can't read. Thought it said Mike. I like that name. Michael Hunt. So yeah. Forest Hills, Arizona. Power has been stable year over year. Man, you're lucky. Our power in our area has been just getting worse and worse and worse. We're part of the PJM thing. Now I'm hoping today was literally the first day that we had a little bit of a break. It was a little cooler. I had 30 minutes to mow my back lawn, which takes about 30 minutes, and I got it done. But it was nice. I think part of it was because it was so cool out. Yeah, the power bills are going terrible. And so what this article is about is basically people are getting pissed off that all these data centers are popping up, all right? So now US Marshals are escorting survey crews as they go into the field to look for more of these places to build. And they're building a lot of them. So PSE&G is a renewable transmission, New Jersey based. They're leading this thing called the Piedmont Reliability Project. It's 70 miles of high voltage lines through lovely Baltimore, Carroll, and Frederick counties. So, for those who don't know, these are northwest of Baltimore and DC. Okay. Carroll is extreme north, Frederick's just below to the southwest, and then Baltimore is right outside. Baltimore County is different than Baltimore City. Okay. But what these places have in common, and I know a little something about it, is that all of their like power bills have exploded in price over the last 6 months. So people are sitting there and they're like, well, gosh, why is my bill going up? And, people get mad enough that they'll figure it out. And they start to look and read and they're like, hey, it's these power things we're putting up. We got to drive the whole revolution. Data centers. We need data. And if you look south in like Loudoun County and all these places around DC, these places are popping up all over or they're already there and they consume a huge amount of power. So people are like, why is my bill going up? Like, well, it's the data center. Like, okay. What do I do about it? Like, nothing. You just have to sit there and be surveilled. And you're like, okay. Well, now these things are popping up. So people are like, oh, I can't do nothing about it. All right. Little survey boy over there, this little tripod, he better watch out. That's what's going on. People are like, we're not dealing with this. Hey, look at that. The guy with the tripod. That's why my power has gone up exponentially. Honey, go get the Louisville Slugger. So now they're getting U.S. Marshals out to save them, help them. And I understand. Our power prices in this area, and I'm part of the same as the fine folks to the east of us in lovely Frederick, Fredneck, as my friend calls it, and Carroll. Carroll's actually a rural and nice county. Baltimore is a suburb of Baltimore. But these places, man, like all of our power prices have gone up, just gone up, 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 up. Terrible. And you really don't have any recourse. There's nothing you can really do. So there's some guys out there with a survey tripod, and he's going, hey, we're going to put no. And people are like, oh, no, not next to my lovely community. Unfortunately, they'll pop up again somewhere else. They always do. That's the thing. I read a story in the crisis report. By the way, crisis report was done earlier. It's already up. So go check that out after. And we are brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. That's right. They're an IRA company. They take your IRA and put it into gold and silver. you'd like to do a little informative, check out the link in the description. They're nice people and they're highly rated for a reason. So yeah, bills have gone way up. People are scratching their head. And I think everything is just trickling. Like they're talking about doing rate cuts and all this stuff in a month or so, or whatever the next Jackson Hole meeting is. Housing market's not doing so hot. Like there's a lot of problems out there financially, and we need every nickel we can get. So when our power bills are going from 152, 250 to 350, 400, which is common, people might get a little revolty, you know. There are hotels in the UK where they put new neighbors. People are getting a little revolty. This is going on more and more and more and more and more. That's why they need these data centers. Oh, what's that? Oh, yeah. These data centers are going to collect everything. And then they'll put it into the little robo machine person that is not real, but intelligent. And they'll collect it all. And they'll say, hey, you're getting a little too uppity over there. Don't do that. Don't get uppity. By the way, you got some dirt on you. Yep. So we're paying for it too. All these surveillance stuff paid for by us, by our taxes. Oops, sorry. Wow, we need infrastructure. We do. We propose we do, John. I say we go in and get another data center to make it so people can ask questions and have emails written for them by the intelligent that is not real. That is exactly what is going on. Motion filed in federal court last Friday. PSE&G detailed new threats against survey teams, including gun violence, unleashed dogs, and an ATV that nearly struck private security guards. Local police and the sheriff's office declined to intervene, dismissing the confrontation as civil matters. So even the cops are like, well, oh, I guess you should have thought about that before our prices went up. I can sheriff who I want to. And sheriff you sitting there, I'm not sheriffing over here when you guys are getting attacked. Residents and local conservation groups strongly oppose the new transmission line. Well, there's some strange bedfellows. The anti-surveillance folks and the ones that want the rounded Central Maryland woodpecker to thrive. So, yep. Threats to private property, destruction of farms and natural ecosystems, including Gunpowder Falls State Park. Gunpowder's pretty cool. Pretty Boy Reservoir and the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. All the runoff everywhere around here. It all runs into the Chesapeake. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Chesapeake runoff, Chesapeake runoff. Yeah. So we need our friends that are corporate are making the big decisions. We need them to be good stewards of everything. Whether it's our food, don't put out radioactive shrimp, please. Okay? Thank you. Not really into boom boom radioactive shrimp. Best Buy, well, they're going under. And why is that? Because inflation and everything has gone gangbusters. So um, you'll see them go here pretty soon. And then the Googles, well, a little too much information. Need to get better. Got to do better. And then to fuel the Googles, they got to have the power centers. So what are they going to do? They're going to come into our neighborhoods, and they're going to pump up these power stations and transformers and all that stuff. And you're not going to get stuck at the bill. What's going to happen is, folks, it's going to get so expensive that people are going to start to revolt. How do I know that? Well, it's already happening. If survey crews are not safe going out and doing their job in the lovely woodland areas of central Maryland, we're getting there. We're getting there. Peak problems coming. We're getting there. So, I don't know. I have to see where all this goes. What I do know is that things are going to get more expensive. Things are going to get less available. Good point by Tim Pool today. He's talking about how, some of the things we do, they'll still be there, but they'll be so expensive it'll price more people out. He's talking about rollerbladers. He's like, there's a very small market for rollerbladers. It's still there. They do tricks and stuff. But now getting rollerblades, which used to be super cheap, now it's expensive because only a certain few people make it. That's coming. Yep, we're gonna get to a point where we can't afford anything. I don't want to see that. I don't want that to happen. I don't. So let's hope that they start to get this under control. Let's hope that maybe they'll cut some rates. I don't know. I mean, the numbers, according to Wall Street, they look good. Really, certain things, not all. Problem is, you can't believe anything. That's the other problem. Can't believe anything anymore. So, how about this? I got an idea. How about they start by just building back the public trust, make things a little less expensive, and, we all get back into the good graces of each other. How about that? That sounds good. Is it going to happen? Probably not. So, ay. All right, it's late on a Tuesday, now Wednesday. My apologies, folks. I am going to go to bed. Please hit that like button, do the subscribe thing, darken out the bell, get the notifications. Consider becoming a member like Bad Bobber, like Mr. John Evans, and more. It does help. Water Tiger, thank you. You can join us on Subscribestar, Locals, Gab, Minds, Truth X, Twitter, or Substack. But I appreciate you being here. And darken out that bell. And we'll keep coming back and doing more. So there's a new crisis report up. We hope you will go check that out. And tomorrow, well, it's a new day. So we're going to see you on the next one, folks. Whoop, there we go. Third time's the charm. God bless you all. Get some sleep, folks. Good night.